Hello everybody, Cameron here. Welcome to this over-the-shoulder training video for local arbitrage profits. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get all the leads that you could possibly need for this system. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to need is I have this little document here so we can just kind of go through the steps together. The process is really easy and you can probably get all the leads that you need in about 5 minutes total. You're going to need to go to google.com. We're going to adjust the search settings so we can get 100 results per page. We're going to then just do our special little Google search to get as many different domains and as many URLs as we can to fill out a contact form. And then we're going to go to each website, kind of filter through the contact forms and submit as many as we possibly can, right? So let's go ahead and do the first thing that we need to do is go to google.com, which we already are, and then we're going to adjust the search settings, all right? So the way you do that is once you're on google.com, come over here to the bottom right and hit search settings. And you'll have these Google Instant Predictions. Now, one of these 3 radio buttons are going to be selected. You want to make sure that the last one is selected. Never show instant results. Once you do that, you'll then be able to freely move this little button here. And we want to go ahead and ramp that up all the way to 100. Typically, it's going to be set down to 10. 10 is what you normally see on a search engine results page when you do a Google search, but we want to ramp that all the way up to 100. And scroll down and make sure you click Save Settings. Our preferences have been saved. Next thing that we want to do is we want to, number 3, put in our search query, which is going to be whatever city that you want to target, the niche that you want to target, and then plus our special little Google search here. Now, personally, I've been doing this search, kind of getting ready for this video. I've been doing this search a lot today, so I'm actually going to eliminate the all-in URL. You could do it either way. You're going to get more results when you just do the contact us, but you will have to filter through those results a little bit more, okay? And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need a city and a niche. So you already know the top 5 niches that I went through. You can use any niche that you want to. And for the cities below this video, you will also see this little text document here, which has the top 300 cities by population in the U.S. And it's ordered in, so the New York is the largest population, all the way down to Broken Arrow, which is still one of the top 300 cities, but obviously not as many as New York. So you could combine one of these cities, just pick one randomly, it doesn't really matter. Whichever city that you want. Some of them obviously a little bit, you know, there might be a Columbus. There's a Columbus in multiple states, right? So you don't actually know what Columbus this is, but you can still find a good number of leads this way. And it's just a nice, quick, easy little way to combine it with cities, okay? The state that they're in, it really doesn't matter, okay? You just need a city to do with the Google search. So I'm just going to go ahead and select, let's go ahead and select Santa Rosa. That seems like a nice place this time of year. So we'll select Santa Rosa, and all I did was just Control-C to copy that. And I'm going to paste that in there, and I'm going to search dentist. Okay, you have the top 5 niches, and you can, by all means, just put in one of those niches or any other niche that you want. So if I just put dentist, we're going to get all the dentists, and you can obviously use this, but what we're going to do is we're going to add in the plus sign and the contact us. Now, again, you can use the all-in URL. If you use the all-in URL, then what that should do is that should only show you results that have actually the words contact us in the URL. But since I've been doing this search a few times today, I don't want Google to get any funny ideas about limiting my search queries. So I'm just going to use contact us. You can use either one. Doesn't really matter, right? So this should hopefully narrow down some of the results so I only get the dentists in Santa Rosa that have a contact us page, right? So as you can see, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This one right here, contact information, contact us. This website here, the third result, it only has, we can actually start bringing some of these up. It only has the home page, but I'm sure once we get to the home page, we can kind of navigate to the contact page, all right? If you were to use the all-in URL, you should get more results like this that have the contact us, the contact information. But we could easily just only pull those ones up if we wanted to, right? So I can just kind of go through here and pull up only the ones that have the contact us in the URL. All right. As you can see right here, this would typically on the search engine results page, you'll only see about 10 results, which is probably about this many. I'm not counting exactly. But since we did that little adjustment to the search settings, we actually have 100 results on this page. Okay, so lots of leads. More leads than we could probably need right now. But since we're taking the more shotgun approach, the more the leads, the better. So we have 100 leads, and as you can see, there's actually 5 pages of results. So we could get anywhere from this page between 300 and 400 actually contact pages that we could fill out, right? And, you know, 300 to 400 leads in a matter of 0.98 seconds, so not even a full second. I don't know about you, but that's pretty good, right? So we got our Google search done. That was number 3. Next, we need to complete the contact form submission. So I'm going to bring that over to the side. And another thing that you will see under this video is the contact form. And this is the contact form submission. This is a swipe that I use. All right. Whatever one you use is completely up to you. So let's go ahead and look at some of these. So here's exactly what we're looking for. The first result here, contact information. As you can see, it's just a little contact form. This is exactly what we want to see. Next one. Scroll down a little bit. As you can see, they actually have their email and they have the contact form. We're not so much interested in the email right now. We're only focused on the contact form. Okay. This website went to the home page. So if you get a home page, you can easily just click the contact us. Big map. And then as you can see right here, little simple contact form. Okay. A few more. Another one. We'll go ahead and click the contact us. And this website actually does not have a contact form submission, so we'll just go ahead and close that out. Another one here. This is the home page again, so we'll have to click the contact page. This is not a great website. And as you can see right here on the right-hand side, they have the contact form. So that's good for now. Sometimes if I see a page that has like request an appointment, I will not, personally, I don't choose to use request an appointment, okay? Personally, if they have just a request an appointment form, I don't like to fill that out, but by all means, you certainly can. So that's all we need for right now. And what we'll do is we'll bring back the swipe here. And I just go through these pages and fill out the swipe, okay? Using the swipe. I just copy and paste this exact swipe. Now, sometimes some of the contact forms you'll have to put in a subject. So if it needs a subject, I'll just use quick question as the subject, all right? So let's go through here. And I want to quickly go over this form and how I came up with this swipe. Again, you can use whatever swipe you like. This is just the swipe that I have found works best for me. Now, the purpose of this swipe is to do 2 things. Number 1, it's to invoke some curiosity so that it does the second thing. And the second thing is it gets somebody from this dental office to email you back. In order for us to use this system, you know, the way that I created it, you need to entice the business owner who's ever reading through these contact forms to actually email you back. And for that to happen, I put in a strong call to action here. You know what? Let's just actually read through the entire email. The first part is, again, if it requires a subject line, just quick question. It says, I hope this finds you well. I wanted to reach out because I had a question about one of your services. I noticed on your website, that you're offering a specific service. Make sure this is just a really general service that like all dentists offer. So like teeth cleaning is like something I would use here. If it was like roofers, I would use like roof repair. If it was like lawyers, I would say consultation. Just something really generic that every single dentist, lawyer, roofer is going to have. You don't want to make this too specific, right? For example, if I was going to fill out all these dental contact forms and I make that service like something like Invisalign, well, not all dentists offer Invisalign. So yes, that might get a response from you, but it's going to be a response like, we don't offer Invisalign. You'll have to go somewhere else for that. Stop emailing me, you joker. So we want to make sure it's a service that all dentists are going to offer for the most part. All right. It doesn't have to be necessarily specific to, you know, this dentist doesn't, you don't have to go look at their services pages and, you know, use crowns only. It could just be a really general service, okay? So I noticed that on your website, you're offering teeth cleaning and thought it would be best to contact you. Please email me back if you get the chance. So again, this email does two things. One, it's very generic. Like if somebody reads this, it's not 100% clear what the person who wrote this is trying to get at here. And that's the way I intended it to be, okay? And then number two has a strong call to action. Hey, since this was a little bit confusing and I had a question, why don't you just email me back if you get the chance, right? That's very, very important, and you'll see why in module number 4. But the way we have the Gmail hack, the hack that we use to automatically responds to anybody who emails you, okay? So we need to entice the business owner or who's ever reading the contact form to email us back, all right? So let's go ahead. What I like to do personally is once you have the swipe that you're going to use, whether you're using this swipe or whether you create your own swipe, what I like to do is to get as many of these done as possible, I just copy the content of the swipe, all right? And then I just paste that in here to all of the tabs that I have pulled up. Okay, accidentally. And all I'm doing here is just pressing Control V to paste it in here, all right? So now it still says services. I'm not going to actually submit this, but you would want to replace that services. And now what I do is I go back and I fill out all the other information. Okay, so now we need to include a name, an email address, and a phone number. And that's how it is most of the time. Okay, name, email, phone number. Name, email, phone number. Okay, so what I do is I just create a fake name. Okay, I use a fake phone number. I won't submit this phone number because I don't want them to actually be calling anybody or like to include it into like their any follow-up sequences if they have anything set up like that. So I prefer not to include a phone number, but if I have to include a phone number, I will just use this phone number here. You can also use your business phone number if you want to, okay? But for the purposes just starting out, I don't like to use any specific phone number. If it gets to the point where they need my phone number, they'll actually be able to get that via email. So, okay. I'm just going to copy his name here. It looks like Mr. Paul Bridges. You can also use your name and your email address for this. It doesn't have to be the way I set it up exactly. This is just the way that I prefer to do it. So we have Paul Bridges here. Let's go back. If we need to get a fake phone number, I can use this one. And then finally, we're also going to need an email. Now, I do not use this randomly generated email, okay? The way I got this, you can just go to fakenamegenerator.com. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. But as you can see, this fake name generator, it also gives you a fake email. But you don't want to use a fake email. You want to actually go create a secondary email address that you can use, preferably a Gmail account. So I can show you how to use this, do the second part of this, okay? Which we're going to go over in the next module. So if we were using Paul Bridges, the Gmail account that I like to set up, it would be associated with that name. So I would just say like, like P Bridges, and maybe like a random number because I'm sure that email is already taken. So I would just say like P Bridges online at gmail.com, right? Some type of fake Gmail account. Okay, this is going to be the Gmail account that we use for all of our marketing. All of the marketing, all the contact forms that we use, we're going to use the same one. So again, in the next module, I go over in detail how to set this up. All right. But for now, I would just use this information. So again, so far we copied in our swipe. We'll go ahead and copy the name. I'm just going to take out that middle initial there and just say Paul Bridges. So Mr. Paul Bridges, and this is just the way that I like to do it. You can have 10, 15 tabs open and get through a lot pretty quickly doing it this way. It's a fake name generator. Next, we will need our phone number. Again, for the most part, I don't like to use a phone number, but you could certainly do it however you feel most comfortable. And we're going to need the email. So again, in the next module, I'm going to show you how to create an email and how to set up the email hack and everything like that. But just for the example of this video, that is all I would do. Okay. Now I've just set up 4 different leads and I could just submit all these. Sometimes you'll have to fill out this little CAPTCHA takes a couple of seconds, and I would just fill that out, press send. I believe one of these right here, yep, this one specifically needs a subject. So if it needs a subject, that's when I would just pop in that quick question. Since the subject is so rare, I don't actually copy that one. I just type it in because there's only going to be a few out of 20, maybe 2 or 3 of them would actually need the subject. So if it does need the subject I'm going to use is quick question. Got the swipe all in there. I'm not a robot, send message, right? So that's how I go about submitting the contact form. In the next module, I'll show you specifically how to set up this email and how it works with the Gmail hack to kind of automate this entire system and get all these business owners that we just spent time contacting, how we get all of them to our actual website. All right. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.